Point Fighter
Welcome.
Radio is happening. Alex and Alex on
Yes,
a
sir.
Monday.
Alex and Alex. Welcome to Point Fighter Live. And we're coming at you at a different time right here. Okay, it's a different time. It's 1:30 where I'm at. What time is it at where you're at in Chicago?
12:30. Yeah.
12:30. Okay, so it's good for everybody. And if you're out in the West Coast, it's the morning. So
Yeah.
and even in Europe, I guess, and if you're watching us from Europe, it's like I guess 6 or 7 hours away. Everybody, it's a good time for everybody to watch right now. So thanks for tuning in to Point Fighter Live. We got a lot to talk about today. Um, you know, I just came from New York last night, and at King of New York was great. And then the day before, I was at the Starcade Murphy Gonzalez's tournament, and there was another tournament going on in Mexico, right?
Look
So
good.
so it was a lot of events this weekend. Did you get to watch? You got to watch, I guess, King of New York, right? The streams
I
from
got to
King of
watch King of New York. That's the only one I saw live.
yeah,
I
yeah,
watched a little bit of the Mexico tournament as well. I
yeah.
like.
If you guys, if you
There's some talent out there.
Yeah, there is Mexico. If you guys haven't seen it, you could go back to the Point Fighter page, and you could see all the fighting that was in Mexico. The Starcade, we got a lot of fighting there as well, and King of New York, the women. I got the women, the juniors, and some open weight. But I just want to congratulate real quickly, and then we're gonna talk about these tournaments. Hector Solorio, he's the new member of Velocity, right? And Jasmine Freeman, they won the men and the women at the Starcade. And man, that was like, man, fighting this weekend was huge because there was like 40
Yeah.
fighters at this tournament. That was at least 40 or 50 at Jesse Ray's and then King of New York. So you're talking about so many at least 150 at least fighters this weekend were fighting. Maybe more. I probably could 200. But Hector beat Brian for the overall, right? Hector beat Brian for the overall. And then
The new
Jasmine beat,
Velocity member
yeah, he's a new Velocity member. If you guys don't
beat
know,
Brian.
yeah, he beat Brian. It was and yeah, it's
All
their
right.
tournament. A lot of people say that, like, oh, it's your tournament. You won it. It's easier, But Brian also has some home field advantage too, because you know how many Venezuelans are in Miami and Florida, you know,
Right. Yeah.
and the
That's a good.
crowd, he has that home field advantage too. So I guess it balanced itself out because that home field advantage does exist. I think, in my opinion,
So I
right?
think you're right. I think it does exist, but
Yeah,
I think it also there is a bias, but I think there's also a bias against the person from the home crowd also, just
yeah.
for the exact reason
Man.
that we mentioned that there is a advantage. So
Yeah,
sometimes
man.
tournaments don't want to feel like they're biased, so now they're unfair in the opposite way.
That's true, bro. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. It's not easy. And if you win and it's fair and it's your tournament, it's still gonna be seen as like, you know. but
Right.
uh, but that was a good match there, and you know, it was a good tournament. It was packed. Like both of the tournaments I went to were super packed, almost overpacked. Like that shows that their tournaments are growing, and they both need new venues to fit in there, in my opinion, which is a good thing. That's a good problem to have,
Yeah,
right?
that's
Yeah.
cool.
So yeah, and then in Mexico, in Mexico City, it was rated MBL. Michael Politi rated it with his organization NMAC, and he gave out $750 to the winner, right, on the
That's
open weight,
good.
and Iker won it from Team Proper. There was great fighters there as well. There was a lot of good talent out there in Mexico.
Yeah,
So
Iker seems like a good guy. I've talked to him a couple of times, and
yeah,
I don't really know him a lot, but the few conversations I've had with him, he seems like a really good guy.
yeah, a great guy. So yeah, he's a great guy, and Team Proper won that. So they had national caliber people there too. Zain was there from my team, Luis Guerrera, and I believe the open weight wasn't won by one of those guys. I think that another guy beat him. I'm not sure what the guy's name was. Hey Bobby, what's going on? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Yes, sir. Hey, so then King of New York was yesterday. The Mexico and Miami were great. I mean, South Florida, they were great tournaments. King of New York, um, Cam Dawson won it. Right, he won the overall grand. He won the
TDE.
overall. He won heavyweight and overall. Devin Hopper won middleweight, and then Bailey Murphy won the lightweight. right? And then
Right.
Julio Lugo on the 30 to 39, he was not in the live streams at first because he wasn't on separate
Yeah.
ring. But let me tell you, he beat Devin Hopper and he went to sudden death with Cam. So
Yeah.
I was really impressed by that. Like, I gotta give him a huge shout out because he's the man, you know what I mean? But he really came close. And Cam is Cam. All these, Cam did what he came to do, a three-peat. And I guess Gerald Dawson won the 50 and up, I think, or
Yep.
the senior grand, right? Matthew Williams won the open weight. He beat Kevin Walker twice in that tournament. And you know, Kevin beat him at AKA, and then Matthew got him here. So they have a good little rivalry type thing going there. Good matchups there. And then Faith in the women's, Faith Vieira, right? I love the way she fights. What's going on, guys? Power. That's right. Give me some more power. Look at the power. Yes, power, baby. Power. I love seeing power. It gives me power. Hey, but so from watching the fighting, you saw the King of New York, right? You saw mainly the King of New York this weekend. Yeah. What did you think about the tournaments?
Team Dojo Elite.
Team Dojo Elite. They made their impact. They made an impact at AK, but here they won team fights, right? And they won they pretty much won. Simmons won, right? They all won.
Simmons won.
Yeah.
Gerald won.
Yeah.
Devin Hopper won his division.
Yeah, middleweight. Yeah.
And Cam won. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, they came in and they did their thing, and there was top talent there too. The talent was deep. It was very deep, the talent, and man, the tournament. And you know what? The tournament, Crane does a great job with.
So it was Crane rated.
It's Crane rated. It was WKC rated, and I guess ISK qualifier too that they're having in Jamaica this year, the finals. But I think you see, and now they added Juventex to it this year too, so you could see all that stuff. There was 10 rings and they were full. So in my approximation is at least 4 to 450. It's kind of like a regional national tournament.
Right, I got a question then. I have a question for you because you were there.
Yeah.
I have mixed feelings about Juventex.
Okay, how do you feel about Juventex?
Because it is absolutely a more professional look, and you absolutely should have a scoreboard. You see this guy, you see that guy. He's red, he's blue. It's very easy to see. But it's not exactly the smoothest system, and it does take longer than it should. And there's a lot more mistakes.
Do you think the tournaments going long? You think the tournaments take pretty long or no?
I think Juventex has a great system on paper. Like, it should be good.
Yeah.
But I've never seen it go the way it's supposed to go.
Yeah, well, you know what? Like, I think that last year it made it made its mark in NASCAR, right? But like, it's been a big thing in Florida, like in Blitz.
What is that?
It started in Blitz, and man, in Blitz they do double eliminations, and their tournaments are big, and they're done by like 3:00. I think that they're one of the first ones to have used it, so you don't see those little mistakes with the scorekeeping and the training. But I think it's gonna be a process that, like, I know what you're saying. Like, I think Diamonds used them. This is their first last year, right? Was the first time, and a lot of the tournaments is their first time.
Oh no, I think Diamonds. This was the second year.
Second year, right?
Yeah.
And it all comes down to the training, of the people, and right, because I think that's where the mistakes are happening, where maybe people are not punching it in.
Let me ask you this one then.
Yeah.
Because you said it happens a lot in Florida, and that's right. With the Blitz League, it does happen. So
yeah.
How does it run in Florida? Because I get the feeling
in Florida it runs
everybody
good.
knows what they're doing.
Yeah, in Florida it runs good, and I like the professionalism of it. You know what I mean? Like, you can have it just looks good. You know what I mean? And I don't promote them or anything. It's just good. You see the scoreboards in every ring. I really love that. And but yeah, does it make it run smoother, a tournament? It helps the promoter out a lot, in my opinion. I think it's like takes so much work away from the promoter, because the registration, the ring assignments, everything is in there in the system. The pretty much an approximation of when you're going to compete.
Okay, but wait, listen to this though. So
and even the
I heard that
Yeah.
I heard that one.
Uh-huh.
And I can't remember. There was a promoter. I probably shouldn't say the name anyway. So, and he was talking up Juventus, and he said, "No, look, I can go ask Ring 12, when it's a little backed up, when it's going to be done, and how it's going to go." And he says, "Yep, that one will be done at 2:30." But the problem was it was supposed to be done by noon, but he looked and saw that, all right, it's going to be 2:30 by that time that's done.
Yeah,
But
well,
the
I think
reason
that
why
that's
it's
something
not at
that's new with
2:30
them.
is
I think
because
that's
there's a
something,
problem with it to begin with. So
but
Kenny
I think
was
that that's
upfront
something
saying it's
that's
going to be done
new
at
with
2:30.
them with the approximation. I think that eventually it's gonna get to where it's said, but it's really like based on the competitors and the time, it gives an approximation. You know what I mean? As far as that. But things happen, arbitrations and things like hey, you got some people that are pissed.
I piss
Hold
everybody.
on, look, Jeremy, let's see what he says. Human errors, but likely everyone there in the room for growth and improvement. Yeah, like I said, Blitz is a league that uses it, and they do double elimination, and it doesn't slow their tournament down. Now,
So I heard Obeda was talking to me about this, and he said you got to have people trained to use it.
yeah, you train it.
So,
and in Florida, they're trained like 100%. I think that's what it is, the training. But Moshe does a
but
good
that's not
job.
happening outside of Florida. That's not happening.
What's not happening in Florida?
No. I said outside of Florida.
Oh, it is. Look,
training's not happening. It's happening in Florida, but it's not happening anywhere else.
Look, Moshe's trying to do a great job with he's doing a great job. He was in Mexico for a week, I think, just teaching them all in Mexico. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And then to King of New York, he brought up Jeremy to help him and like people to just be there. And I think that's why it ran pretty smooth in King of New York. The only thing that happened in King of New York was I think a battery died from the TV and they had to stop for a little bit. But
there was no hiccups. Everything's been going good with it.
There's hiccups and everything. I mean,
all right.
Now listen, look, am I all pro? Can you run a tournament without Juventus? I think you can. Like the WKC runs efficiently, right? The Worlds, did they use Juventus or no?
No.
I think if you have the square, you got to have something. You can't just be writing it on paper and crap, But although I love the Venezuelans, the way they score keep, they do it with like this tic-tac-toe thing. It's cool. But yeah, I'll explain it later. But it's funny.
Okay.
But I think if you have the scoreboards with the numbers and that people could see it, that's good. And you got and paper. I mean, it could run efficient like that too. You know what I mean? It just looks more professional. And if we're ever going to get to the stats, keeping track stats, then I think it's the way to go, where you could just be like, okay, imagine if all the tournaments are like in Juventus, you could go and see eventually one day how many points you scored, how many wins and losses. You know what I mean? It's just, I think that eventually
the most spin kicks.
Yeah, I think eventually it will get to that point. You know what I mean? Some people are also scared, like that aren't using Juventus. They're thinking like, what if they control the whole sport and they have everybody's information? You know what I mean? And they got every tournament. Then, but what real power will they have other than money? Like,
I will say this. I will say this thing. So, well, first, I'm glad to hear that it seems like it's running smooth.
Yeah.
So I talked to not Moshe, but I think one of the problems that can be is, okay, let's say one of your students registers for a tournament and they have to put their school and they put WKF Miami. And then another one of the students puts just WKF Florida. Now you have two different schools, but you really have just one. But anybody can register for whatever school that they want. So like this was an odd thing. I went to go.
Yeah, but if you give a school, but if I get a code for my school and I'm gonna be like, it's really the code that matters, right? I think you could put, right? I think the code ties in the person to the school at the end. Well, I'm not sure.
That's if you have a code. But if you want to go to, I don't know, the American tournament and you don't have a code and your students just want to go and they want to enter in what school they're from, I'm not even making this up. I'm not making this up. Yeah. I looked, and when I put for National Karate, and I was going to put in my school, I probably saw 45 different National Karates on there.
How many National Karates are there? Like 45?
No.
No, I'm just kidding.
I'm in like Illinois.
For yours. for
Right.
years. Yeah.
I know. Wild, right? I think for my school, there was a possible, just my one school, there was like a possible 6 different options.
Yeah. But you could find yourself like that, right? You could still find it. Does it make it harder to find
It
yourself
makes it harder for the person registering
to register?
to
Yeah.
register for the accurate school. That's the only thing I
Right.
can look at as,
Okay.
okay,
Yeah.
got to be something.
There's of course there's a lot of flaws on I mean,
Right. But I'm glad to hear that it's going well. All right.
but it's getting better. Everything, I think it's getting better. But I think it's a good thing for the sport. You know, I think it's a good thing for the sport. And you
This
know,
was
I'm
topics.
not gonna hate on it. I'm not gonna hate on it. You know what I mean? Like my dad doesn't use them. He uses like Digitego, but whatever. But I think that Juventex is great. I think, and I think if you have some kind of system like that, it's good. You're trying to be proactive, you know. So it's a positive for the sport. But hey, we started out with a bang. We started out with the show with a bang. You're bringing in the
I didn't mean
controversy.
to. It wasn't even one of our topics we were going to
We
talk
should
about.
bring in Jeremy Roque because he's really like I'm not a spokesman for Juventus, so like I'm talking and like you know it would be good if you had these questions for him or for Moshe. That would be good. But
Yeah.
maybe we could get Jeremy to come on now. No, I'm just kidding. I can't bring him on now. But it'll maybe knock me off the system like it did last time when I had all those people. Hey, if you guys are enjoying this, share it. A lot of you guys have karate schools. That's why we did this at this time. It's a good time for us to do karate. And let me tell you, this show just gave me a bunch of energy. I went to Miami, right? The Murphy's tournament. And this is what I want to talk about here. My point, sacrifice. Look, this morning I woke up wrecked. I mean, I went to Starcade. I took a plane to New York. I went to New York and I didn't see New York basically. I just had some pizza at night and that's it. I went to the tournament all day and I left and I came back. I'm here. I'm wrecked. Like, and I can't just say, oh, okay, I'm going to relax today. Right. And let me tell you, that's where sacrificing comes from. You got to sacrifice something. You got to give up something, right? Like I gave up some rest right now. And I wanted to do a show today with you because you know it's hard to get you any other day. So I was like, let's do it. You know, and I had so many things that I had to do for karate, right? Like the Valentine's Day's coming. We got a parents' night out. Spring. I made a bunch of flyers. I'll rest tonight, right? But sacrifice, man. Like Jody talks about this all the time in his seminars, right? And that's where it really came into my head. You know, because I've already sacrificed a lot to where I've been to. But I never thought about it that way, you know, and that's what I love about Jody. But sacrifice, bro. You guys got to sacrifice that, and I don't think that a lot of fighters right now to win sacrifice. You know, they're like, oh, I got to do this, I got to do that. You know, I can't make it. Like too many excuses, and they're not sacrificing enough. The people that are winning are the ones making sacrifice, right?
I think you're absolutely right. The people that are winning are the ones making sacrifices, and we've all known it. I know you've known it. It's frustrating to people who are competitors actively for years, or even instructors, coaches,
Right.
school owners. You see someone with insane talent, and you look at them, and they don't know it, but you look at it and you go, "Oh my goodness, you could be the next best thing that nobody's ever seen." And it never happens. Like, okay, I'll give you an example. Probably 4 years ago, there was a girl who's in my school, and I'm not making this up. She was the best junior black belt fighter in the country, and nobody knows her name. She's not a junior anymore, but she was the best in the. I can confidently say that, and nobody knows who she is. And
Why?
Nope. Because she just was like, she was kind of in it, kind of not. And I'm like, I can't believe it. Like, you're that good. There's nothing that you do that's bad. You don't have a lot of maturity in competition. Like, you need the experience, and she didn't have it.
Yeah,
but
bro.
She didn't really want to do it that much. And I'm like, wow.
That's like another Jody's quote. That's like a talent cemetery, right? You just buried, the talent is buried. You know, it happens a lot. It's a shame, but you know, you gotta give something up, and it's just for life. You cannot just even fight. You gotta give, you know, something up, something that you want for something that you want more. You know what I mean? That's what basically it is. But yeah, bro, that's that's crazy. I mean, this weekend I had a great weekend and I had a lot of fun, but it was a lot of work. and Point Fighter is just growing, and it keeps growing. And the more tournaments that come, the more sacrifice I have to make to keep the brand going. Let's talk real quick about some upcoming tournaments coming up.
Yeah.
In March, we got the Philadelphia Pro-Am. Keith McKinley. We're gonna bring him on to do our everything you need to know about this tournament. He's a great fighter too.
That's good.
That's Merrick's. That's in Philadelphia, right? Then also in Philadelphia, March 23rd, right? March 23rd and 24th is the Amerikick Internationals. They got the set fights and not the set fights. They got the seeded fighters. They're bringing in a lot of Europeans. I'm wondering what Americans they're gonna put on, right? I think that someone that deserves it will be someone like James Poor, right? James Porsche deserves a seed at Next Level. I never seen somebody from Next Level, I think, get a seed in America. So I'm giving him a shout out. Show him some love, right?
Who are the fighters that we know of so far?
So far, they have a German guy, right? They
Tali.
got
That's Tali.
right. Yeah, they have they got Brian. Oh,
Brian,
and they got Cam. They got Cam. I think Cam is the only American so far that they've announced, I think. But Avery, so that's like 4 fighters. They still got like 4 more to go, right? Because it's 8 and 2 wild cards. Yeah.
So how many more seeds are there left to go?
I think 4.
Okay.
4 seeds. It's a lot of great fighters out there.
Would I guess who they're going to be?
Who? Yeah, guess.
You want to guess? Okay. I'm going to guess Kevin Walker.
Kevin, yes.
Jack. Avery. Who else?
I think Kevin, yes. I don't think Avery. I don't think Avery could make it.
He won it last year.
But I don't think he could make it. I heard that here's a rumor alert or not rumor alert, but I think he's got law school really heavy until June. I think he's got he may not. I heard maybe he may not be able to make it. You know what I'm saying? So
that would be
but that's not confirmed. You never know. It's a great tournament. He's a champion, so he may go in there to get it. But I think Kevin is. I don't think Jack will be there either. I'm not sure.
Everything I'm saying is out the window, Dan. Everything I'm saying is wrong.
I'm just guessing based on what I hear, but it's not confirmed things. It would be great if they were there. It would be great if they were there.
Luis
but they always do a great show and they get great people and international. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna be there. Point Fighter Live will be there. My team's gonna be there. So I'm looking forward to it. Maybe they'll seed one of my guys.
Yeah.
Hint, Ryan. No.
Yeah.
Hey, so yeah, that's there. Then the proper challenge is March 31st. That's in Oakland, California. Junior. He gets a lot of East Coast people to come out. It's one of the biggest tournaments out there.
Doesn't he have an East versus West challenge?
Yeah, he's done that. He's done that. Yeah. But it was a great tournament. Ryan went last year and it was great. He enjoyed it. Down here in Miami, we got the Redlands Invitationals. It's they're giving out $1,000 for overall again. Last year, Ibrahim won it, and he's doing it again this year in a beautiful hotel right by downtown. It's a real nice area, so I'm gonna enjoy that because it's right in my backyard. Then you got in Utah, Mike Tobin. It's called the let's see, what's it called? It has a weird name there, but it's a great tournament. I can't believe I forgot. I'm really tired right now, and I can't read it. Usually I have notes, but it's a great tournament in Utah. Mike Tobin. I think Drew Beatty won it last year, so we're gonna bring him on. It's rated by the league as well, NBL, and we're gonna bring. Let me see the name of the tournament. Hold on, I'll tell you guys right now because I can't leave my man hanging out like that, right? I can't do that to him. I gotta give him the information of the tournament because it's
somebody chime in. Somebody comment with what.
Yeah, do you guys know? I'll tell you guys right now. It's called. I'll tell you guys right now. Oh man, yeah. I'll let you guys know now. Let's see if you guys know what Intermountain Challenge. There you go, Joe Greenhawk.
Oh yeah.
See, it's like a weird name, Intermountain Challenge, but it's a cool name, and we're gonna have a show about it soon. Okay? Yeah. Oh yeah, it says it right here. I just couldn't read. But thanks, Joe. You're the man. You are the man. Thanks, Richard. There you go. Hey, look, I gave this tournament now more play over a mistake. You see that? Isn't that cool? You see
Yeah.
that? Maybe I did it on purpose. Hmm? What else? Okay, yeah, that's the April events. We'll get into that.
Yeah.
We'll get into that later. So yeah, how about, and we also got another tournament down here, which I have a flyer for too, but I'm not sure if they're going to change the venue. The American Pride Challenge in South Florida. That's Hector Dumont. It's a blitz tournament, and they have Juventex, right? Okay, so let's move on to the next topic: Fight IQ.
Yeah.
Fight IQ. Today I made a post about this. I think. Let me see if I have it here somewhere. Oh yeah. Oh look, that's the tournament, the American Pride Challenge with the flag. We'll have more information on that one as well. That's in
Here we
March.
got-
Those are the March events. We had a poll today on Fight IQ and who's had the best Fight IQ. I was talking to Mike Smith about this weekend. He gave me this idea, and we're gonna be asking you guys who you guys think have the best Fight IQ, the best punches, kicks, spin kick, little by little, and round it off to kind of make like a complete fighter, a perfect fighter. You know what I mean?
Take this
So,
thing from that person and this thing from that person.
yeah. Like construct a bionic fighter, you know? And is there a bionic fighter already? Has there been? So we're gonna get into that more, but I want to focus in on this one right now, the
With you.
Fight
It'll be a
IQ.
fun game.
Who do you think? Who do you think? So who do you got? Who do you think is the smartest fighter that you have seen?
Okay.
Out there?
I'm
That
not going to say who my number one is because it sounds boring. What I will say, I will get to my number one. What I will say is sometimes the smartest fighter that you see in a tournament is not the person who wins the whole thing. And let me give you an example.
it's the person that doesn't win the whole thing,
It sometimes is the person who does not win the whole thing. Let me
right?
give you an example. You were just at King of New York, and you were
Yes.
talking about Julio Lugo. Like you didn't see him, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Julio's fighting Cam, and it goes to overtime on a sudden death, and it could have went either way.
Yeah, man, that
And
call
I
is gonna
love
be.
Julio, but let's look at this.
Yeah.
Julio is not stronger than Cam. Julio is not faster than Cam. Cam is taller than him. All right. Cam definitely covers more ground. And sometimes Cam kicks better than him.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
that's the case, oh, and Cam can move better than him sometimes. So
Right.
if that's the case, how are we in overtime? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I'll tell you this.
that makes a
Julio
lot of sense.
and I have fought each other 4 times.
Who
And
you and who? You and who?
Me and Julio. We have fought each
Julio,
other 4
yeah.
times.
Right.
And all 4 times, and I love you, Julio. All 4 times, I felt like, no, not a question. I got you. And I've only won 1 time, right? And
you only won 1 time.
I won
You won 1 time out of those.
And that was at AKA.
Right.
And each time I remember thinking like, what is happening right now? And 2 times I got hit with jump spin sidekicks. So, and now I am not saying, oh, I am the standard, because that's not the case. The point is you look at a fighter sometimes, and the smartest fighter sometimes is the person you don't think about.
Well, you gotta be
like Josh Horowitz. Josh Horowitz is one of the smartest fighters that I've seen and known.
That's true. That's true. So does winning come into the smartest fighting? Maybe not, right? I always thought it did.
Josh went from being the best kicker in the match that he would fight. Josh was typically always the best kicker.
Yes.
Of the person he was fighting. And that's how he won. And then he realized that can't win you every fight, because I had to realize that as well. You have to look inward, right? And then Josh became the smarter fighter in a lot of different scenarios. So let's look. So there's so many different people like that. And you look at it like, I think Ross Levine is one of the smartest. I think the smartest fighter that I've known, sounds boring, is Raymond Daniels. Raymond Daniels is everyone's hardest fight.
Of course. Raymond You know, Ross, like of the present fighters that have come more recently, like Ross, you could see him dissecting a fighter in the first 30 seconds because he doesn't do much in the first 30 seconds. He's kind of like moving and analyzing you, and then he
Right.
just starts eating you alive. You know, just ripping your heart out little by little towards the end. You know what I mean? I seen him do that to so many fighters. You know, Jody was kind of like that. Jody, I remember seeing him destroy great fighters. I'm like, what
The
is?
back fist.
Yeah, I'm like, how's he doing that? You know, and then you know, and then you got these like Raymond Daniels. You know, he would adjust really well. I remember, especially with the 2 rounds things, right? Like I remember Ross fighting him in Amerikick where Ross knocked him off of the banner. Remember that? And Ross had that first round. He had the perfect game plan, but then Raymond came in and adjusted like in the halftime, kind of like he did like a Bill Belichick type thing, right?
Yeah,
He
yeah,
adjusted.
you're right.
He started adjusting where he would countering with a boom, and then Ross didn't answer back for that, and Raymond ended up getting the win there. Where I thought maybe Ross was gonna pull it off there. So you know it's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
And then you got fighters that are like great and smart, like Pedro, Tankson, guys that could do it all. They'll kick. Mafia Holloway, right? The kick, spin. They'll punt, blitz you, decide everything, right? So, but they're smart. But how about the guys that don't have all that too? I think I
So
brought
who do
this
you
up.
think? So of the guys that don't have it all, who
Yeah.
do you think the smartest fighter is that you've encountered?
Well, one of the 2 smartest fighters, I think I brought it up to. You know, Kevin Thompson. Some people would say he did have it all because he did form. But like if you see his fighting, it was the reverse punch, the movement, right?
Yeah.
He would get you with the spin kick. He had a little sprinkle of that stuff. I guess he could do it also. He's not a perfect example of that because he won with the basic reverse punch mainly. But also my brother Manny, he won a lot, right? And he would just move and just come in with a reverse punch,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Everybody knew it was coming.
I remember.
But so you have to be smart to do that, right? Like you have to be smart to come in at the right time and not have too much of an arsenal. If your arsenal is only like 2 things, right, then you better be smart, right?
Well, I'll tell you actually, outside of Raymond Daniels, who I think is the smartest, I think it's Hamid Farouzi.
Yeah, Hamed was smart too. Yes,
Hamid is so smart, like actual like smart. Like I don't know if people know that he's an engineer, right? Like,
yeah,
he's freaking smart.
He's smart. Yeah.
So one time,
hey, but there's a smart
we're at a
people.
tournament. You got to hear.
But there's smart karate people that have no brains in business and
well, that's not him. That's not him. So you got to hear this. We're at a tournament one time. We were at a tournament in Chicago, and Hamid's fighting someone, and he goes, "Okay, don't tell me a lot because I kind of have my own plan." So okay. So I'm watching him fight. Chicago's got a lot. He's got really good top level talent.
Yeah.
And not a lot on the intermediate. So the top level talent could win just about anywhere. So he's fighting a guy who's really, really, really talented. And it's not going the way I think he wants it to go. So I'm talking to him. In the middle of the fight, Hamid turns around and yells. The whole gym can hear. He goes, "Shut up, Alex."
Nah.
I make it up. And that's literally the only thing people remember from that tournament is him screaming at the guy trying to help him. Because I'm messing up his plan. I'm messing up everything that he already had planned. He's so smart.
Yeah.
I couldn't see what it was he was planning.
Right.
I feel like I'm pretty smart. Like I can figure stuff out. I can see stuff that people don't see. And I could not see what he was doing. And he made fun of me in the middle of a tournament.
That's funny, bro. That's funny. Yeah, I would stay away from telling my brother what to do. He would just tell me, keep the time. Keep the time.
Keep the time.
Yeah, keep the time for me and the score and just keep me up to date with that. You know? Yeah. So that's part of people's greatness though. You know, when someone's great, that's it. They don't need a whole lot of coaching. You know what I mean? It's just like just maybe you could just tell them what the other guy's trying to do and that's it, you know? And see stuff like that. I don't know. And go 2, 2, 2, yell out, yeah, cheer, you know? But yeah, man, fight IQ, that's very important. So we're gonna go into another topic soon, really soon now, guys.
Okay.
Let's just talk about. There's a lot of April events. Let me just talk real quick about them. Best of the best, April 7. That's Julio Castro. He's gonna have Jotty Tension there doing a seminar. That's in California in the West Coast. West Coast is looking like it's building up out there with the tournaments. Centex Open in Texas, another point fighter approved event, right? That's Chance Turner, and his tournament's growing a lot as well over there. He's building up a great event. It's a WKC qualifier, I think a TKO rated, so good tournament. April 21st, Kick USA. That's the Kimlings. It's a Kick USA Sport Karate as well, and Blitz rated. And Kimling's one of the most professional guys I know. So I'm looking forward to being there at that tournament, as it's in South Florida. Another great South Florida tournament. Superfoot, Bill Wallace, and Don DeVries, right? They have a tournament also in April. The date is not on there, but I believe it's April the same weekend as 14 and 15, April 14 and 15, right? That's in Ohio. Lucas Roberts won it last year. It's a great tournament. How about in Europe, the first point fighter approved event in Europe? All right, Malcolm Evans, my man, it's WKC. I heard a lot of Americans are coming out there too. Like it's becoming a big, it's getting a big buzz out there.
Kind of like one in Scotland.
Yeah, in Scotland. That's in Scotland. Yes, sir. It's getting a buzz around that tournament. And Americans coming out there, and we got the Arkansas Open as well in April 28th. And do we have any other ones? I think we have a few other ones. Oh yeah, look, here we go. We got one in Missouri with my man Kevin. That's in Neosho, Missouri. We're gonna have a lot of information on these tournaments coming up soon. For those of you guys that don't know, these are all over the world, pretty much scattered all over. And I look forward to bringing them on. We're gonna talk schedules on the events and everything. Oh, and how could you forget my man Grand Slam, Jeff Dawes, April 20 and 21st. Next week, I'll probably have a show almost every day and just bring these guys on to talk about all these shows. We got like 9 tournaments in April. The Northeast Martial Arts Challenge with Pat Riley, and he just had a venue change, and his tournament's pretty big. It's growing out a lot over there in Pennsylvania. It's in Pennsylvania.
Who did you say? Pat Riley?
His name's Pat Riley. Yeah. Yeah. Not the Miami Heat Pat Riley.
Okay.
But, Pat just Riley. Hey, and also we have Quebec Open as a point fighter approved event as well. I don't think that I have the flyer for it on here, but
here's the best night show that you could go to.
Yeah, the best night show, exactly, and great people. Hey, Jose, how do you get point fighter approved? You got to have a good tournament, number one, right? And just message me, Alex Reyes, and I'll get you all the information. What do you get when you get point fighter approved? I give you the access to Point Fighter Live, so your event could be broadcasted and exposed to over 55,000 people, page followers that I have. So that's great right there. You're exposing your tournament and your competitors, and I market it. But it has to be a good tournament. If it's not a good tournament, I won't market it. It has to have that stamp, Hey, so we got about I got about 20 minutes left that I could talk before we got to go teach. I know a lot of you guys out there listening have to teach as well, right? We're getting our busy Monday going, right? And so you wanted to bring up a subject, right? I think of judging, right?
Yep.
Okay, so what is it again?
So
there you go. Thanks, Mallory. It's also sport martial arts event. Yeah, sport martial arts, Mallory Woods. Power, baby. There you go. Power. Yes. All right. So go ahead, man. The floor is yours.
I will probably mention and talk about the things people talk about amongst themselves, but don't really feel comfortable basically saying what I'm saying right now. Is that I feel in a lot of the tournaments that we have, as far as the way that they are conducted, the judges are corrupt.
Our judge is corrupt. This is a big one, man.
And it sounds stupid to say.
What do you guys think?
But once I explain it, people might see it my way. Let's look at this for an example. Okay? Let's say, and I'll bring his name up because I know that he absolutely would never do this. All right. And so I can confidently say that this tournament promoter would never do this. Okay. Let's say Dennis Brown,
Yeah.
who I think is a great guy. Let's say Dennis Brown wants Ryan George, okay, to go to his tournament. And he's asking you, hey, you got to bring your team. You got to come out to my event. This is going to be a great event. Okay, now Dennis Brown's also a judge. And now Ryan is fighting another fighter, or the team is fighting another team.
Right.
Doesn't Dennis Brown now have an invested interest to make sure that Ryan wins? So now, look at that. So now, if Ryan's fighting some guy who nobody's really ever seen or heard of before, that guy really has no shot, because it's in, and then I'm only using Dennis's name, everybody knows, because he would never do that. All right?
Yeah.
It's a name that we know. All right? So I'm sorry, Mr. Brown. Sorry about that. Okay?
Yeah, he's never done that.
He would never ever do that. All right? So now he wants Ryan to win, even if he's not doing that great. He will look for a call to give him so that he keeps things going that way. Now Ryan's happy with him. And I'm only saying Ryan because Ryan wouldn't want something to go that way either. So I can use names that I know would never go that way. Okay? So look at that. So now we have corruption in that. Here's another thing. Okay, that's just one obvious reason. But who are the
Okay, but let me interrupt you for a second.
Go for it.
Quick. Let me interrupt you. Hold on. The thing is that you're saying, though, like, I've thought about that before, because I've actually had Joe Corley tell me in my face at the Diamond Nationals, my fighter, Ronald Brady, was fighting Reggie Perry, and I was complaining about the cause. And he told me straight up to my face, of course, you're fighting against Paul Mitchell. He was a referee, so he basically admitted it. That he was, I don't know if he was being sarcastic or messing around, but he told that to my face. But but that's crazy. But if you
I would have a hard time not hitting him.
If you think about this, though, about what you just said about a promoter wanting fighters to come to the tournament, so they kind of like, start pointing to that direction to not make them mad. Yep. I think about, when you say that, I think about Ken Eubanks. Ken Eubanks did the opposite of that. He did everything straight up. You didn't like it, too bad. And the fighters loved that about him. And that made his tournament one of the biggest tournaments was in the world. So, I mean, I think that there are judges.
Now,
I think that there are promoters that do what you're saying. I do think that happens. But
let's look at that, though. Just because there are people who are in a compromising situation who do it the right way doesn't mean that it's a good thing to do.
But listen, it's also, I mean, I don't think that they even do it on purpose, because look, maybe judges make certain calls. Listen to this, because it's a psychology, right? When you're a big name fighter, right? Chances are that judges are fans too. Promoters are fans. I'm a fan. I'm a coach. I'm a fan. I always was a fan of Raymond Daniels, even though I wanted my guys to beat him, but I'm a fan. You start to look at him, mainly him. I remember Mike Stone. Brian Ruth told me a story about Mike Stone, that one of his secrets to not losing, because he went on a streak of not losing, right? Mike Stone, one of the early point fighters, he said that he would make sure that judges would only focus in on him and not the other guy. He had a secret.
Well, we should not have to jump through hoops for the judge to do the right thing.
Yeah.
Judge should do the right thing for the sake of doing the right thing. Okay? And so now, if I am fighting another fighter, and now after our fight is over, I see the center referee in arms with the guy who he just judged against me, and now they're talking about going to his tournament. What else would I go to? You see what I'm saying? And that doesn't make it true. That doesn't make my assumption true. But now,
you think that the judges are corrupt? I think
yes.
I think most.
I'll tell you what's even worse than that.
I think You want to know why? Because you know why? I did that whole segment that I have with You Be the Judge, right?
Yeah.
That whole segment that I have of You Be the Judge. Have you guys seen those clips, right? I'm gonna have one
Yeah.
tomorrow, by the way.
They're cool.
Listen, I did that really. You know what was behind that? I wanted to expose someone and be like, the car's so clear. I'm gonna expose this guy, and he's gonna be a bad judge, and everybody's gonna see he was cheating. And you know what happened when I posted it? Half the people saw what he saw. So I'm like, and then every time I make one, it's like 50-50. It's never just one way. So I think just people see what they see.
Okay.
And that's
Right.
it. I think it really
But
comes
that's
down to,
so.
I don't think it's a big corruption thing. And look, you you see you see upsets happening, like WKF beating Paul Mitchell twice at the Battle of Atlanta in the same tournament, right? That, if there's corruption, that wouldn't happen. Also the U.S. Open.
No, you can't use
Listen,
one example
look,
and say no corruption happens.
look, listen, look. I just think, because the U.S. Open, Paul Mitchell gives the U.S. Open money and Battle of Atlanta money and all that stuff. So you would think that they would be corrupt, and I really don't think that. You know, I think they get cause. Maybe there's cause, but it's not out of being corrupt. Like
All
they're
right,
getting
people
paid.
comment. Back me up. Come on.
No, man.
All right, I got another one. How about this one? All right.
Yeah, look, Marquis says, I've seen judges only focus on their favorite fighter.
Right.
Yeah,
And their
but it's not their,
favorite might be the
but they're not
person that they
corrupt.
want to go to their tournament. That's
But they're
their
not, I
favorite
don't think it's
person.
a corruption thing. I think that it's a fan thing. You know what I mean? It's a fan. It's
Right.
more of a fan thing.
That promoter is a fan of this person when it works best for them. Okay,
It's
how about this one? How about this one? All
So
right.
in a way they're corrupt. So in a way in that way being a fan is a little bit of a corruption, I guess, right?
Zach.
But it's
Now,
not really their fault. But it does happen. I think it does happen. But look, once you make it, but look, once you're a top fighter, that goes out the window. If you got two top guys,
no,
right?
I don't think that's true.
I think that goes out the window. The cause are gonna be pretty good. So this is a touchy subject because I'm the biggest complainer of judges, but I
Okay, well,
see
how
it
about this then? This
I
you
see
will
it
agree with
different
me.
now, though. I see
I
it
know,
different now.
I know. There's one you will agree with me, and I think. Wait, which Alex Mark win? Which Alex?
Which
is right?
Alex? He says that there is corruption.
Yes.
But listen, look. Some people could say the Patriots are cheaters and they won their Super Bowls because of corruption, right? People talk like that. Like when you win, people are gonna talk crap. That's it. So that's gonna happen. Stuff
But
like
this
that's
is
gonna
not
happen.
the same though. What this
You know
is,
what I mean?
if that same analogy, what
And
I
there
would be
probably
saying,
is corruption in the NFL, and there is
right. But I'm not
corruption
saying
in the
the
there is
fighter
corruption.
cheated.
There
I'm
is
not saying the fighter cheated.
No, I
I'm
know.
saying the system.
I know. I'm not saying the fighter either. But look, there's corruption in every sport. That's part of the sport. But at the end of the day, the winner. Look, the winner's gonna win, right? Winners are gonna win, right? At the end of the day, if you're basing corruption on your wins and losses, and you're always saying that,
Okay, but
then
nobody.
on,
But that's the thing. Nobody is saying everything I'm saying. I'm saying the thing nobody wants to say.
Yes. Yeah, you are.
Okay. Here's one you will agree with me on. Okay. And nobody's had a good answer for why it continues to be the case. Okay. Let's say this. We're watching a division. Say we're watching a team fight. And great center, great scorekeepers, one good corner, but one guy is just no calling the whole time. Or the worst thing ever, just I don't see. And you're like, okay, you're in the ring. You're in the best possible place to see something. You can even move a little bit if you need to. There is no reason whatsoever you should ever go no see. There's no reason. So if you're consistently doing that, then you're basically admitting you are not equipped to be a judge. If you can't see and you're in the best possible place to see, you need to be gone. And we've all complained about a judge before. And we've gone to a promoter. We've even gone to Larry Carnahan and told him, look, this thing is happening. And I've been there where it's been teams of people talking about a judge. All right. And they don't remove him. Why can a fighter have a bad day and screw something up, but a judge is incapable of having a bad day? We train our butts off. We pay all this money.
Maybe they're scared.
Sacrifice all this for
Right.
a guy to do this. We do
Hey,
all
but look,
of that
then
for this.
you also have the coaches that bully people like me, you know, that intimidate and influence the judges. You know what I mean? But I only do that though when I see
Ever happen?
when
This doesn't.
Whenever I see
happen.
somebody that looks like they're
Judges
not
need
they're
to be
not doing
pulled.
it right, I get on them.
There
for
needs
that.
to be
You know
a
what I mean?
time where a judge is pulled.
Hey,
Agree with me.
Marquise says, "Oh man, Marquise went in on Larry. He's saying that Larry is corrupt himself." No, man. Yo,
I
this
think we
is
might have
crazy.
froze, Alex.
Huh?
I'm not seeing something happening here.
Oh, you're not?
If I'm
It's okay.
if I'm the
I
only
can
one
hear
talking, if Alex froze,
Yeah, I can hear you perfect.
everybody comment and agree with me. Tell me the latest example that you guys have had on how a judge was not pulled.
Hey, this
Or
is
the
a great
best
topic.
example
We got to talk about it more. I guess Alex can't hear me,
a
but
great
gonna
judge
end the
who
show.
did the right thing
We're gonna end the show now. I
in
have to
spite
go.
of something else going wrong.
Hey, we're gonna end the show. We will see you next time. I was about to end it anyways. Let us know what you guys think. Okay, power.